Brilliant question. We can't even get $10 or $20,000 forgiven without having a Supreme Court challenge, which of course has been voted down. To expect the Department of Education to step up and say we wiped the slate clean completely would just meet the same challenges. What would be interesting, though, to be honest, is to actually see them step up and say we'll forgive it all. We'll wipe the slate clean for 46 million Americans, and then see what the social reaction as far as the fabric of the United States is concerned, with 46 million Americans continuing to be indebted because the Supreme Court decides against them. $10 to $20,000 may not make much of a difference for a person that owes $80,000, $100,000, $200,000 in student loan debt. The $10 or $20,000 are almost inconsequential to them because the interest rate alone is going to erase that forgiveness within the shortest order. But if we could step up and say we forgive it all, and now I actually have almost sort of this idea that I could be free from that burden and continue to contribute to the economy, that would be a really interesting experiment to see what 46 million Americans would do when that would be robbed from them. From a functional perspective, though, and I'm just going to expand on this, just wiping the slate clean is not enough. This is only step one. Step two needs to be an increase in government oversight as to how much tuition can be charged and how much administration is earning. So for instance, somebody in a STEM program paying tuition of the same amount as somebody who is in a Masters of Fine Arts program, for instance. So the Masters of Engineering pays the same amount of tuition as the Masters of Fine Arts in photography. The expectation of ROI, of income down the road, of course, is unequal between both fields. Yet we point our fingers at the Masters of Fine Arts. Well, you should have thought about this before. Not everybody can be an engineer. Not everybody has the talent, the drive, the mathematical ability, the ingenuity. Much like if I give an engineer a paintbrush, they wouldn't turn into Picasso either. So people need to follow what their calling is, what their abilities are, how they can contribute meaningfully down the road. And the tuition needs to be leaned against the expected income X amount of time after graduation. That is the only way to make that possible in the long run. Secondarily, the administrative salaries in higher education are embarrassingly high. Embarrassingly to anyone who's faculty or adjunct, and then looks at how much the provost, the assistant provost, the vice president of whatever, or the president of the institution is making. But that's a story for another day. It's multi-layered, but it's solvable.